Hi everybody, I'm going to be recording this to teach how to use Google Slides for education. So first of all, you log on to your Drive. Afterwards, you go to New, you go to Google Slides, and then a brand new one's going to populate. You can either pick a theme, and they have a lot of different themes, or you can import a theme using this orange box down here, or you can create your own. There's many different ways that you could do, but actually the way it looks should be the last thing that you should worry about. So right now I want to show you how to use the different things like the layout. So if you go to the layout, you're going to have all the different options. I want to teach you guys first how to insert a picture. So I'm going to go to the title and body. This one, it gives me the opportunity to insert a big picture. If I did a different layout, I could do two different ones. Like so, it has two different columns. So I'm going to click on one box, whatever box I want to choose to put my picture in. I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to go to Images. Now in Images, I have the choice whether it's on my Drive, on the internet, or on my camera. I'm going to put Search the Web. And this is going to populate. On here, I would like to search for sharks. I'm going to pick the image that I want, and I'm going to press Insert. And it's going to populate. I can shrink it to however I want. I can make it as small as I want it to be. I can completely manipulate it any way that I want. If I want to insert words inside of it, then I can click on my box, go to Insert, Text Box. And now a text box has been populated. And I can manipulate it any way that I want. If I want to add more slides, I go to the plus button. And it will automatically populate the one that I had. Or I can press a little arrow next to it and it gives me choices of what I want it to look like. Now, not only can I insert images, but I can insert videos. Again, I press what I want. I go to Insert and I go to Videos. I'm going to type in the word sharks. And again, with this, it gives me choices. If I have it on my Google Drive already, then I can do that, or if I have by URL. Okay, so now I'm going to pick YouTube. You can preview it by pressing play and it'll show it to you. But I'm going to just go ahead and insert one. And now it's located right at my presentation. I can manipulate exactly what kind of video I want, for how long I want it, and how I want to use it. There are so many different ways that you can use Google Slides. I've used it with grades as young as first grade all the way up to high school. I've done it in science, social studies, youth ministry, ELA. You can do it in so many different ways. I will show you examples in a minute. Now from here, let's say that I have a group project and I want to insert questions that I want my students to answer. So I would provide them with an example. I could type in there something like, insert your favorite video on sharks. And that could be my question, and that's where they would answer it. I could ask them any type of question, any type of project. Your imagination. Just use your imagination as much as possible to what is it that you would like to see on their presentation? What skills are you trying to teach them? I would just input it here and use this as my example. Then what I would do is I would go to Share. And I would have to name this. So I'm going to name it Presentation for now. Okay, and then I can share it with as many people. Now this is super important. This allows me either whoever I share with can edit, can comment, or can view. So since I only want my students to be able to view it, I would press View, and then I would share it. So I would just put their name, put their email. When I press Share, it's going to give my students rights to view it, but they can't manipulate it. It is mine alone. If I want different groups to do different projects, but still do it presentation wise like this, then what I could do is that I can have them like let's say 5 kids in my classroom have this project, and then I'll make a whole different project and I'll give them another 5 kids to do it, and they would do the same. What I would teach them, once they receive that in their email, they click on it and the presentation pops up, I would teach them to go to File, and then they would have to go to Make a Copy. When you make a copy, you name it. Let's say I'm going to call it Presentation 2, so you can see what I'm talking about. So the presentation looks exactly like mine, but this one they can manipulate, and it says Presentation 2 on it. So they can manipulate it however they want. If they don't want this video, they don't like my example, they can erase it, and it gives them that right. But if they use mine, the one that I made, they can't do anything to it because I only gave them viewing rights. This is a good way to control everything that your students are doing, so you can see everything that they're doing, and also you can view exactly if it's a group work, or maybe they're not being focused, or they're playing around, or they're commenting on each other or whatnot. You have everything right there because you created it, so you have access to it at all times. So in the case that they did make a copy, I would automatically, with my supervision, ask them to share it with me, and this is where they would share it with me, and I have automatic viewing rights to everything inside of it. Now, for examples, this is what I did for youth ministry. This is a presentation on Lent. As you can see, I manipulated the screen where the picture completely took over, and I added some wording and whatnot. I did the whole 2 with the 2 different pictures, the one with a description. So this is an example. Another example that that my students have done. All right, here. So this is science by itself. So we did on pollution. This one was individual, where they got to present. These were group projects. So this one in particular, the student did Jupiter with his group, and they did it on the different planets. This was for science. I've done it using ELA, and they've done book projects on here. It has been super, super helpful. And like I said, I've done it with first graders. Children that don't technically like to write love doing presentations like this because they get to manipulate it, they get to put pictures, they get to describe it, they get to present it to the class. They can add their own YouTube videos if they so please. As long as you use your imagination, the possibilities are endless. So I really hope you enjoy this, and I hope I inspired you to try new things with your students and explained it easily enough where you would like to try someday. If anything, comment below. If you have questions, let me know. Okay, God bless.